I was chewing popcorn watching my favorite channel with my bestie Diana when I heard Juliana's screeching voice. Cheryl! Emergency! Help me! I dashed towards her room to see her struggling with clothes. Oh, my dear, you're here. Come and help me choose which bag would suit my gown better, Gucci or Versace. Is this your emergency? Yes, absolute emergency. I must look fab on tonight's date. What? A date? Don't you remember you just cried your eyes out for some jerk yesterday? Can you believe her? Sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Cheryl, living in New York. And that's Juliana, my aunt. My parents passed away when I was little. Since then, Juliana moved in and became my guardian, as per their will. She was funny and expected to make good company in this huge house, but most of the time she wasn't around. The only time she sat down with me was... I just bought him a brand new Bentley to walk his dog the other day, but the next day he immediately dumped me. He said he wanted to share my burden, but seeing how heavy my 20-carat diamond necklace is, he stole it and ran away. My auntie always left with all her heart, only her taste in men really needs some fixing. As you can see, all gold diggers. But for some reason, she refused to see those red flags and still hooked on them like a crazy bull. And inevitably, her long list of heartbroken stories keep getting longer and longer. Recently, Juliana met someone new and dined out every day. But you know how it's gonna end. Once they steal something from her, they surely would run away and leave her inconsolable back to me. Actually, I've once dated a guy like that. But of course, I'm not easy to deceive like Juliana. Once I sensed something fishy about that guy, I kicked him in his butt right away. That's why it's my first and also my only relationship I've been in. But no big deal. I have my bestie Diana. She might look timid, but really reliable. She knew everything about me. Then one day, Juliana asked me to join them for dinner. Wasn't this the first time she introduced her boyfriend to me? But this guy was kinda special? Or even strange to her usual style. Juliana only ever dated six-pack guys. But now, what's this overweight, short, and bald man doing here? Auntie, are you alright? But the real bummer was he brought along his son, who also happened to be Andrew, my freaking gold digger ex. It all happened when I was 14, the age where everyone was in a relationship, except me and Diana. One day, my class gathered to play Kiss, Spin the Bottle, and on my turn, the bottle pointed to Andrew, the only boy in my class who was single at that time. Friends screamed in extreme excitement and started to push us together, and we kissed. Since then, my classmates started to ship us as a couple until one time Andrew came to me. Hey, you don't have a boyfriend, I don't have a girlfriend. Why don't we become an item? Our friends seem to like it too. Stupid offer, right? But 14-year-old me thought it's a good idea to join the dating circle like my friends after all. I mean, being the only single girl really sucked. And he surely got a look and would make a good match with me. So I agreed. And we became official and did what other couples do, from holding hands to public kissing. Andrew turned out to be a good acting partner, and it was quite fun, to be honest. Except for those moments where I wish I could just end his life. Bae, I'm hungry. Get me something. But he's still totally wrapped up in finishing his 10th burger. Until I nudged him that did he pay attention to his starving girlfriend? Aw, my bae is hungry. Then eat, my love. But what was it? I opened my eyes to find out he fed me his greasy finger. Ew! That definitely raised my hackles up. I stood up and gave him my tantrum, but he had the audacity to fight back. If Diana hadn't stopped me there, I swear I was gonna give him some scratches. But still, we both had to settle down our first couple fight to continue our lovey-dovey girlfriend-boyfriend thing. Ugh. Things ran quite so smoothly that sometimes I thought I was in a real relationship. Then one day, I was walking in the schoolyard to hear some boys talking. Hey, Andrew and Cheryl have been together for 2 months, right? Yeah. I can't believe our spin the bottle trick that day could be that successful. Shout out to our handsome boy Andy, who's willing to go into the lioness's den to help us earn some more allowance from our rich lady. Perfect. And now the bait is taken, it's time to give Andrew the cue to action. What? So Andrew's offer only comes from an attempt of leeching onto me? How dare he? I immediately stormed away to find him sit on a bench. Hi, bae. Why the long face? Who stole your food? Drop your act. I know you're just a gold digger. What gibberish are you talking about?
I don't know what's going on with you, but don't put it on me.
He still had the guts to deny it and even dared to go berserk at me. We're over. Not long after, he moved to another city with his family. Good riddance. And from that moment, I said no to boys, as they only come to me for money. I didn't expect to see this jerk again, especially in this kind of situation. I dragged him outside. You have to stoop this low? Couldn't get my money, so now you asked your dad to steal from my aunt?
Quit thinking everything has to spin around you just because you have some money. I just want my dad happy and he seemed to like your aunt. I warn you, don't cause any trouble.
The next morning, I woke up to the most shocking news ever. Cheryl, Mr. Hardy and I are engaged. The wedding is soon to be decided and 2 families will move in together. What on earth? They've known each other for hardly 2 months and now they're getting married? What? This Hardy guy must have put some kind of spell on Juliana. Wait, so Andrew the jerk, he's my cousin now? No, I can't let him rob me one more time. I so needed some bestie talk right now. But why is Diana clinging to Andrew? I rushed over without a second thought. Hey, what's going on here?
Are you blind? We're seeing each other now.
What kind of gibberish did I just hear? I dragged Diana away immediately. You better have a proper reason. I'm sorry. You know too well what kind of person he is. Why? Can you do me a favor? You and Andrew are living under the same roof now, but can you keep a distance from him? What? Are you for real? You know, I'm a bit insecure. Okay, fine. You worry for nothing anyway. In no scenario do I want to be near him. What's wrong with the people around me? Frustrated, I came home, but to see Andrew's dad in my house.
We just moved back to the city, so it's taking more time for our housing contract to settle. So we'll have to live in your place, just for now. Is it okay?
Of course, bae. This castle is too big for the 2 of us anyway. Right, Cheryl? Yeah, how convenient for you, Mr. Hardy. Just move in, and all this house and cars are all yours to use now. And that's how Andrew and his dad entered my life and made it miserable. Every single night, he kept bothering me with a screeching sound that I couldn't stay focused on studying. Stop it or I'm gonna throw away your flute.
Pity you can't comprehend art, cousin.
Not just that, I had to share a bathroom with him, which now rather turned into his own exhibition of Star Wars obsession from towels, doormats, or even toothbrushes. Literally everything. Ugh. He even left his stinky football jersey for days. Ew. And of course, I couldn't let Andrew invasion continue like that. I drawed the boundary to set my territory.
Hey, that's not fair. You got an inch more.
What? Obviously not. And you know where he got his annoying nature from? Yeah, you guessed that right. His dad one day brought a full box of tools and left them everywhere in my house. Then he dragged every old item out of the basement and got them fixed. Hey, this castle wasn't supposed to be his mechanic shop, and we have enough money to buy new stuff. One day I told Juliana my bed was too high and I wanted a new one. But Mr. Hardy was faster and insisted on fixing my bed. But when I lied on it, it collapsed immediately. Help, my butt! I just know it's his tactics to win Juliana's heart. And seemed like it worked, as my aunt, who was never seen in the kitchen, now volunteered to show off her cooking skills. Wow, love's power, they say. Then let's see how love would burn. I just happened to heat up their love by adding some super hot chili into Mr. Hardy's portion. And after the first bite, he ended up crying like a baby.
Don't you know I have a peptic ulcer?
Then he held his stomach and left the table. Juliana hurriedly followed him to their room, all looking concerned. New trick to wheedle some more gifts? Impressive.
It's you, right?
Me what? I ignored him and went back to my delicious sup, but this party pooper stole the dish and scoffed, like being left starving for decades. Okay, fine. If you insist. You just pushed all of my buttons, you moron. I snatched his dish and finished the steak in front of him, and I could see his eyes turned red in anger. And that's when the fork fight broke out between us, until the maids came in to prevent any more calamity. The next morning, I saw my aunt taking Mr. Hardy to the hospital. Oh, I didn't expect it to be that bad. Right then, a delivery man came. Oh my! Wasn't it Green Day? My favorite band of all time? But this vinyl was rare. Not everyone could have this. Who bought it?
It's mine.
You?
Hey, cousin, can you pay for me?
I spent all my money on game yesterday. Classic. Fine, I'll pay. To make up for the prank yesterday. Okay, but with a condition. I'll unbox the vinyl. We returned to the living room and opened the vinyl. The cool guitar riffs and engaging lyrics gives me chills every time. When my jam was playing, I sang it out loud like usual. And notice Andrew did too. And just like that, we sang together until the song ended. And we started to talk about Green Day nonstop.
American Idiot was the best album ever written. Fight me.
No, Andrew Idiot. Dookie was the one that established their name.
You call me idiot? Then you might listen to Dookie too much that turned you into Cheryl Poopy as well.
What? I'm Cheryl Cherry Bomb! Too much for spending time with this jerk this morning. His taste in music is okay, but his personality is definitely not. One day at school, while I was busy with my homework, suddenly a boy stormed in my place.
Hey, beauty, I get a dare. Would you mind giving me a kiss?
What? I very mind. Get off me! But he still leaned towards and trying to press his dry as the bark of a tree lips on mine.